back to my channel. Today I have a mid-June message for all of the Sagittariuses out in the collective. Please note this is going to be a general reading, so it is not going to resonate with every single Sagittarius out in the collective. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Eileen into Spirit. My name is Eileen Rouse. I am a psychic intuitive, a spiritual coach, and a sound healing practitioner. So without further ado, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and dive right into your mid-June message. So Sagittarius, we are going to start out with No Place Like Home, Easy Does It, and The Eyes of Beauty. So we are going to start off with the goddess Unag, which gives you the message or brings you the message here of easy does it. So what it's really trying to say is that there is no need to hurry or force things to happen. This is really about understanding that everything that is occurring in your life is in perfect timing. So there's divine order to it. So Sagittarius, if you've really been trying to push things to happen or force things to happen, you have to understand that it is only going to create more friction, more resistance in your life. And this is not really what you're wanting to focus on. You're wanting to have positive expectations and recognize that as things unfold, as things sort of occur the way they are meant to, it's important for you to be in that state, right? The message with No Place Like Home is about learning to feel good in our own skin. And if what you are currently experiencing right now, Sagittarius, is a little bit of discomfort, there is a purpose for it. There is meaning behind that. And I feel that what you're needing is to sort of take a step back and to see things, be very open, so that you could have clarity about what is happening and understanding why you feel uncomfortable in the situation that you're in. Or really asking yourself, why is it so important for you to rush through or push through what you are currently experiencing? I feel that's the ultimate important message here, because I feel like a lot of times when we try to force things to happen, we're really not in the present moment. We're not even aware of why, or even in touch with our emotions as to why we feel so uncomfortable being where we are and why we're wanting to push things to happen when they're not meant to. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. I think this is a great message for you, Aquarius. So let's see what else we get. Okay, so right away with the High Priestess, we have an understanding that you're needing to learn to trust your spiritual side. Maybe your spiritual side maybe you haven't really been working diligently on it and you haven't really been consistent with it. The Three of Pentacles is really about, a community. And I want you to understand that I feel that where you gain your clarity here, Sagittarius, and where you gain your insight is in your spiritual aspect. It is in your higher self. It is in your spirit guides. It is in your angels. Whatever force that you use, whatever aspect that you use spiritually, this is where you gain so much and where you build together. And I want to point out that when you force things to happen, when you try to push things to happen, you are completely disconnected from your guides and your angels and your ancestors. You're just forcing something to happen and you're not really utilizing your intuitive, intellectual aspects, and you're not working as a team. You're just very disconnected. And I feel this is what you're needing to understand. Even if you feel very disconnected, what can you do today? What can you do right now in this moment that can help build a better line of communication with your spiritual team? What can you do on a consistent basis that will help you build and work on that community so that you can be okay with where things are? Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles here with the Ten of Swords. Okay, so here is what your guides are really saying. I feel that when you try to rush things here, Sagittarius, this month, it's really because you see the prize, right? Like you see what it is you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to do. But the thing is that you're not surrendering. I think in your mind, you feel that the further along, like I feel like you're putting yourself on a timetable here, Sagittarius. I'm going to be very honest. As I'm sitting here doing this, my chest is really tight and I feel like it's really hard to breathe. I feel like you've got a lot of stress and I feel that you're putting yourself on a timetable that isn't even necessary. Time is irrelevant. You need to stop looking at things as I have to get this done by this particular time, because the more that you do that, the more disconnected you become to the present moment. And I feel people forget this, Sagittarius. They absolutely forget. And maybe you're forgetting how you create your future. You can have a vision in mind of what you want your future to look like, but how you create it is in the present moment. So if all you're doing is rushing and pushing through without clearly being in tune, then you're not even aware of what you are creating. So this is how it's so important. The Ten of Swords is about letting things go, just letting it go. If it doesn't succeed, if it fails, it is meant to fail. Understand that. I don't know why, but I keep saying this phrase, it is what it is. And I think people really need to understand what that truly means. It means that you have to allow things to be what they are. You have to allow people to be who they are. You can't change it. You can't force it. You can't manipulate it. It just is. And the message, what you learn behind that is you learn acceptance. You learn to surrender. You learn to accept things as they are so that you can see with clarity and without a shadow of a doubt of why it is the way it is, right? It's about being present in the moment and being in the feels of what it is exactly, because that's what you need. So I feel for you, Sagittarius, this month, it's really about you understanding that everything that gets presented to you has room for growth. It has potential. It has the possibility of being able to grow. But you have to let it go. You have to plant the seed and let it take shape the way that it's meant to take shape. And what are you learning as it's growing? What is it teaching you? What are you needing to surrender to? Next, we have the Lovers here with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, the Lovers is really about following our heart. I feel that a lot of times people look at the Lovers as a relationship, but the truth is that when we are truly connected intuitively, when we are connected to our heart, we make better choices. And the Lovers really speaks about making mature choices and following our heart and trusting our heart, because it will never lead you astray. Never. And I feel a lot of times when we experience turmoil or when we experience conflict, when we experience things not going the way that we want them to go, we miss everything around that, because all we see is what is not working. We miss the beauty of what is actually there. We miss the whole lesson. We miss everything. And I feel that for you here, Sagittarius, it's important that you recognize everything, even what you classify as bad. This is what you're needing to accept it. You're needing to embrace it. And you're needing to allow them to take shape and to take form and to blossom as they are meant to, instead of trying to wield it or manipulate it or change it or conform it to your liking. This is deep, Because I feel like when you do that, then you're not truly accepting anything, because you're just trying to conform it to fit into a specific box that you want it to fit in. And I want to point out here with the 7 of voices and the 3 of inspiration here, I feel that you might be telling yourself that your intuition is really telling you to push, but it's a lie. Because understand that there is a very big difference between our thoughts and our intuition. Because remember, we can allow our ego to sort of push ahead of our intuition and make us, push forward when it's not even necessary. So understand that if there is a thought process in the decision that comes about, if there's like an actual, like a process, like a thought process, like do ABC 1, 2, 3, that's ego. Your intuition is quick, and it's usually just a little bit of a sentence, right? It's sort of that nudge, that internal gut instinct nudge that you feel. That is what intuition is. A thought process is ego. And so I feel that I want you to understand that as you allow yourself to connect to your intuition and build that line of communication, and you become more clear with that community in your spirit team, you're going to notice everything is going to start falling into place. Everything is just going to move along smoothly. And it's almost going to be like, why didn't I do this sooner? So understand that you need to really trust your intuition and work with your intuition, because that is how things are going to flow for you naturally without even trying. Okay. And I want to point out that everything will balance itself out. Even if you feel like it will not, it will. I promise you. I don't even like to say the word I promise, but I'm telling you here, Sagittarius, everything is going to balance itself out. Everything always does. We're not aware that it is. And I feel that when you can trust and when you can let go and you allow things to be what they are, and you basically take responsibility for your actions, you're going to start realizing that things are going to slowly start to materialize and things are slowly going to start to build. This Muse of Materials is the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles uses his assets wisely. And I feel that this is where you're going to start recognizing what actions to actually take and how to build upon that so that things can grow, so that there could be more potential. And it'll eventually lead you towards something bigger and better, right? Because when you try to force things to happen, it only complicates things. It doesn't really make it better. And I feel this is where you might have a misconstrued idea here, Sagittarius. You now have the 9 of Wands with the Ace of Wands. This is beautiful, right? So this means that when you listen to your heart, okay, which is your intuition, you're no longer going to feel limited. You're no longer going to feel like I'm doing all of this work for nothing, right? Because you're slowly going to everything's going to slowly start to widen for you and broaden for you. And you're going to feel like there's so much room for potential and growth. And you're going to have newer ideas. Things are just going to slowly start to take off for you here, Sagittarius. And they're going to blossom in a way that I don't even know that you're aware of. I just feel like you're still stuck in this mentality that you're not doing enough. And I feel that the reason why you're trying to force things to happen is because you feel like you're on this timeline and you're not. You're exactly where you need to be. So that is what you need to embrace. So Sagittarius, this is your message. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.